नमस्कार, स्वागत छ यहाँहरुलाई युथ टिभी शो मेकिङ नेपाल प्राउड ग्लोबली को नयाँ एपिसोडमा। लागौं आजको कार्यक्रमतर्फ।
We have an amazing personality, Mr. Ami Copeland, one of the key people behind the $750 million raise for President Barack Obama's presidential campaign. Mr. Copeland, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here.
What made you feel that Senator Barack Obama was the one?
It was actually a very difficult decision at the beginning. We had many qualified candidates, many senators and other qualified electeds that were running for president, and I had many friends who were working for a lot of other candidates. What attracted me to then Senator Obama was not only his groundbreaking ethnicity and his background, but also the team that he was putting together. They were looking at everything in terms of grassroots to the tops, to every aspect of a campaign, which would really allow me to build a team, fundraising operation that truly engaged the people. And that, to me, was probably the most important aspect in terms of choosing a candidate.
It was a tough decision. I mean, now you have achieved it. The success has been achieved. But at that point, because I mean, in 60s America tried it, and for 40 years it was quite difficult. And what triggered you as a person?
It made me feel that I was doing something transformational for the country, but also for my generation. It had been a long time since there had been a transformational political figure in our society. Given the past 8 years before this presidential campaign in particular, I felt that we needed somebody who came from outside the political world and represented more to the American people than just party politics. And Senator Barack Obama, to me, certainly was that candidate.
Where do you find the freedom in your work as a political consultant, which is very much restricted to power and money? Where do you get that freedom to decide that you want to go off the track and bring that as on the main track?
For most folks, politics and money is a very bad combination. I think that what we were able to achieve and the organization that we were able to put together on the campaign truly was a bottom-up operation. We targeted not only the business leaders and the industrialists that traditionally finance campaigns, but we also engaged young entrepreneurs, people who had not traditionally been a part of the political world, and just as importantly, we also engaged the students. We valued a $1 contribution as much as somebody who could give $2,300, which was the maximum someone could contribute at that time. And for me, that meant political power, and that meant political organizing.
Now, how do you feel, you and your team, about the success of having the first African American as the president of the country? He's young, he's dynamic, he's a great speaker, and not just America, the entire world has hope in him.
We couldn't be more proud of the work that we did, and we couldn't be more proud for the fact that our country was able to finally make this leap that just really put aside, the politics, straight party politics, and was able to really sort of bring the country together. That for me personally was the most amazing part of it.
Can you tell our young generation how your work impacts a nation or the world when you elect a good leader to the government, or when you encourage the goodness of the people to come in the forefront?
I think we've already seen a shift in how the world views our country and views what we are trying to accomplish domestically as well. It's going to take a little bit of time, I think, to fully break down a lot of the barriers that have been constructed over the years. But it's something that we take a lot of pride in, I think, as a country, and we hope that the world is beginning to see us a bit differently as a result of that.
We live in South Asia, which has very different political dynamics compared to America or Europe. Where do you see the scope or the role of a think tank like yours?
We have a political consulting group. So basically our business model was to take the lessons of not just the Obama campaign, but all the other campaigns that we've worked on and really try to apply them not just to political campaigns, but also to issue advocacy groups, to some specific corporations that we agree with ideologically. So we had a lot of groundbreaking systems that we initiated and put in place, and being able to take that knowledge and take that experience and really to apply them to other sectors is something that we wanted to do in putting together a new company.
Normally when we talk about power and money, we see a lot of negativity around. People misuse it, and people use it against other people, against humanity, and you are in the center of that circle. Where do you draw the line between the good and the bad?
It's very difficult. As part of the Obama campaign, we set very strict standards on money that we could collect, people that would raise us money. We said we would not take money from people who were registered to lobby the government. We would not allow them to raise money for this. We would not take their personal money. Individuals who had conflicts potentially with the government as well. We had a very strict vetting standard for the support that we would receive. So we started with that, and as we built our operation, we really looked at, as I had mentioned previously, engaging all aspects of society, and all, from anyone from students to middle management across the board. When we brought people together, we would ask them, even for just a small contribution, $1, $2, $3, it didn't matter. We knew that if someone would give just a little bit of their financial support, it would make them want to support this candidate across the board. It is a personal investment. So, obviously we never took corporate contributions. We didn't take PAC, Political Action Committee contributions, and that's something that after the campaign we're instilling within our Democratic Party as well. So we feel very proud of the fact that we have drawn very strong lines as to the money that we will take, and we will be completely transparent with everything that we do.
And despite that, you raised the highest money ever raised in the U.S. presidential candidacy, $750 million. How did that happen?
We soon realized, with our candidate, that we had someone special, and we were awakening something special within the country. So how did we take a special individual and move it to financial support, but at the same time making sure that we respected the people who gave us money? We had a mantra within the campaign that was developed in Iowa. It was called Respect, Empower, and Include. The number one people in our campaigns were the volunteers. If you volunteered, came in, gave your time, we were driven by the volunteers. So it was very respectful and very empowering. We wanted to do as much as we could to let people do the organizing themselves and give them the tools, give them the support. It was the exact same thing with our fundraising. If someone could put together $200 amongst their friends, or if they could put together $250,000, we gave them the same support.
From South Asia, we followed the 2008 elections very closely because we sensed that it would also have impact on South Asia quite greatly, where we have Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, and we are in Nepal. It was amazing to see so many young people being involved like never before. How has this impacted America's leadership in bringing the young people in the mainstream? Or is it still under construction?
I think it's definitely still under construction. We did see a spike in the level participation of youth across the country, but it's going to take, I think, another couple of years to see what that really means as a political force. As like in most countries, the youth are engaged, but how they act necessarily and how they see that electing a president is really just one step. It's the first step of political engagement. They need to be engaged at every level, both at the city level, the county level, state level. Issues that are important to them regarding the environment, regarding their future financial security. These are things that I believe that will take a little bit of time to really sort of impact. But we started out. This is a good start, I think, and I think it's been probably about 30 years before we've seen this sort of enthusiasm.